Welcome back to Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice. This is Gamer 1745 here, and our battle of Accession Island, sort of one of the things. And they are invading, but the main thing is going to be this naval battle coming up. We're going to see about taking out their transports. Okay. Come on. Come on. Get there. Get there. There we go. Let's watch them sink the transports. One down. Okay. Our blueprints were stolen. Why did we go away from the battle? I guess it is over. Okay, twin engine fighter prototypes have advanced and grayed out. Well, yeah, this would be mildly useful. And the intel cache, which we got before, Mein Führer, we have discovered a rather curious cache of intelligence. Our cryptologist poring over the documents. Now, hopefully, oh, well, okay. No, maybe this happened in that crashed game, and now it's happening again. Okay, well. Now we're back to battling. One ship left. Okay, from that element of the battle, we've sunk one of their transports. But they still have one out there. Okay, well, we now have a veteran navy, so we've had enough battles, naval battles, and so organization rate, or regain rate up by 5%, naval organization up by 10, and officer recruitment up by 15%. Okay, amphibious unit training advanced. Yeah, we're gonna let this go. We're gonna be doing some more. Bunch more naval or amphibious invasions. And yeah, commando unit, command and control, same screen. Yeah, we're gonna continue to let these guys get at least into the 40s. Year date technology, naval air tactics have advanced. Now that's one that I think we're going to. No, I think we're going to let that continue. Flying boat prototype, which will be grayed out, and we've lost a province here. Okay. Go have at them, SS. That's what you're there for. Well, now that we are in 44, let's do more of these, like deep battle doctrine. Come on, you should be able to sink these transports. Major victory somewhere. Oh, Accession Island. We've won, yay. So, taking out that threat to us. Let's send you guys down to here. Just randomly picked one, so that this one has just one airbase so far. We're building the second. I'll try to find a over the... And they have 2, so that will be good. Now, let's head back up to here. Yes, you may have energy. Oh, so one of the transports gets to slink away. Okay, and of course we are taking down these Indian rebels here to attack at that. They're coming through there. Support our allies. Do we send aid and build radar stations in Spain to help them support our war effort? Okay. For the level of aid this will give will be minor, in the sense of, you know, oh, well, actually, we don't give them any actual aid. Again, it's been a long time since I've coded this. So I looked around and thought where to put radar stations. Now, I know the Germans put some listening stations, and I think some radar stations in Spain. To the best of my knowledge, the Germans had total control over them, meaning they didn't allow Spanish access to the facilities without Germans being present. I'm not saying there weren't German or Spaniards in the radar room or whatever. What I'm saying is I don't think they allowed the Spanish to look inside the radar and take it apart and try to figure out how it works, in the sense of how to build their own, to then whether just to the Spanish or to leak out to the Allies. Because whether the Allies had as good or better radar, you still want to know just how the enemy radar works in detail, so that you can better fool it, block it, whatever it might be. So you want to do that to you know, want to get it out, and the Germans want to protect it. And it's really easy to go in and because some of them were just listening stations, I do believe, you know, radio receivers that were trying to listen in on the Allies' radio communications. But I think they did do a few radar stations in Spain as well, when it was neutral. And it's really easy to, you know, put up a facility, have a few Germans there, put some guards in it there, have them wear sort of a plain uniform, not like a German uniform, but something plain, so that it's hard for the Allies to get, oh, there's a proof that there's a photograph of the German soldier. No, that's just a soldier wearing a, you know, vaguely Spanish uniform or something, guarding the facility. And it's easy for the Germans to have, oh, something to quickly start a fire, to quickly destroy the radar set, if, whether it's a commando raid, or they think the Spanish are, you know, switching sides enough and they get the word to, you know, destroy your sets before the Spanish can take it over or something like that. So it's pretty easy. And of course, good, competent commandos could probably bust in before they do that, if they're truly well prepared. So we have Algericos, which is here, is it? Oh, it's Vigo. That's Ferrol. Down here. Am I this far off my Spanish geography? It is. Man, how am I messing? That's Valencia, yeah. I'm just more. How am I messing? I thought it was up here. Corona, right? Seville. Oh, here, outside of. Sorry, messing that up. Gibraltar, and this is meant for this will only fire if Spain is actually in the Axis in this game. Um, but they can be neutral. And then we already looked up at Ferrol, up the top, Las Palmas, Santa Isabel Islands, which I believe that's one of these. No, that's... Okay, that's Las Palmas. Down here? Yeah, down here. So you get a radar station down here as well to watch this part. And Las Palmas and Mallorca. It is sort of to some degree based that whether this is Vichy France ready to be invaded or whatever, and it still theoretically could. You know, who knows? Maybe the American AI is like, finally got enough transports and got enough stuff. Let me just come after here and, you know, plunk down, 20 armored divisions. 20 armored divisions, even with all this stuff sitting around here, would just plow into me right now if it came in and was vigorously attacking. Not that I couldn't stop it at some point, because I've got, you know, armored divisions sitting around in ports that are ready to react. But they could easily, you know, if we were playing it, if all like we turned this over to a multiplayer human game right now, the U.S. could easily make a major invasion somewhere and really mess with me. Like I say, I might very well be able to hit it, stomp it, and kill it, but it could take quite a while. But so we have radar, which sort of right now isn't doing us any good there, and anti-aircraft or airbase in Santa Isabella, and an anti-aircraft gun, because I sort of thought down here, Spain, you know, Spain had somewhere, because this was their little colonies. I think in down here, I think slavery is still legal, and not in Spain. I'm talking today, as in like 2017 or somewhere. They still had slavery going here, you know, as its independent state. So not good places necessarily. Maybe it's changed. So, but I figured here, this little place, well, somewhere in here there should be an air base, something that could land some level of aircraft. So we have an air base level 2 and an anti-aircraft gun. Just put some anti-aircraft guns around it. Better protect whatever's there. So yes, we will send that. Of course, you can decide not to do that. And it just cost us a bunch of supplies and a little bit of fuel to build that. You know, who knows? Because, you know, we have to sort of judge. Because if I gave this cost, because the other way to do this is, this costs 1% of Germany supplies for, I don't know, 30 days, 60 days. Well, what's 1%? How many ICs does Germany have at this moment? And so if somebody ever wants to give me feedback on, you know, get out the calculator and try to do the math on how much these radar stations would cost, I gladly, you don't have to show me all your work, but just sort of show me some vague idea of how you figured out what they should cost. I just sort of wild-ass guessed at 1,500, or 15,500 supplies. Because if I did it, you know, which I do much more so early on in Germany before the war starts, because I sort of kind of know how much you have. Of course, you can spam out more, but it's just what Germany has. It's not based on what Germany may have conquered, how big of a pie that is. And of course, with practicals, how much it costs to build things, like radar stations does vary too. So, yeah, we'll do this. So now we have air bases. A little late for any serious action down here, but still, it's useful for us, for Spain, because look, we did have Brazil attack here, and Brazil just attacked here. Brazil is being an active participant in this game. These guys, they are in no order. I want them to get better organized. And look, if Brazil can be that active, and can send troops in here. Now they got into Dakar. They were briefly Brazilian, and they were given over to Britain, but they got slaughtered. That just because Germany was already coming in and kicking butt. But they have been that active. Invaded here successfully because I left it open, and did a counter invasion over here. They can be that active. The US should be able to be a lot more active. Okay, armored cars designed has improved. Oh, it's on this down here. Okay, so we're grayed out, good. And naval bomber prototypes. That grayed out. Okay, well then what? Oh, some effect or something. Finland, yes. We can have metal. Landing craft flotillas, that is useful now. I like the extra range, so we're going to continue that. That will just mean so much more operational range out of the ones we already have. Okay, now we're coming down to here. Base. Okay. Now I'm going to keep recording this, but I want to check something. So it sort of kind of looks a little iffy. Here's the yeah, okay. The game is getting a little, I don't know, sticky. And I want to check my current operational resources here. I do this once in a while when I'm trying to monitor some things. Okay, no, nothing to really worry about. It's probably me zooming in and out a lot. I'm not using a lot of my CPU usage, a fair amount, but I'm really using up a lot of my memory. I'm using almost 7 of my 8 gigabytes right now. Play this. And unfortunately, my motherboard will not take, and I've looked into this, will not take any more memory. I wouldn't have bought it if I'd really known that I couldn't upgrade, expand, add additional memory to my system. I just would not have bought it because it came with 8 gigs, 2 slots for 8 gigs. I thought I could stick in another. Not whether I could put in more or just simply swap out what I currently have, but the motherboard BIOS on this HP computer just won't accept dealing with higher memory levels. So, and it's not just a case of they all up at the top. I did add a few more buildings now. Okay, yes, they're all up here. More radar of my own. But now we should be getting a little better look out at sea with these guys here. I haven't been able to build any in V-sheet territory either, or out here off the coast. And the final takedown of British in West Africa. Targets, okay. They have one there, and they have one there. Okay, large fuel tank. Research. Now, what we probably should do now is not increase that, but increase here. That we have so few of them, but that would be an improvement. Increases build time, but we've got a bunch of these guys, and increased range is nice. That could sometimes mean victory or loss in that. Well, they're still sitting off there trying to do something. Surprised the U.S. hasn't come over and just swatted them with a big navy yet. Oh, let's come down here. And back up to here. This is much more my coast now that they no longer even have a port along it. Okay. Inter-service HQs, and that basically means HQs between the Army and the Air Force and Navy are better cooperating, which is cool. Let's see here. Defense and depth. Artillery flexibility. I like artillery flexibility, we're going to do that. I mean, I like all of them, but... Now, oh, they've been engaging. You come up here. But we're doing air intercept. Now, do we know what size of enemy air they have? 3 units. We don't know what's over there. Now, did we get any more? Okay, no, not yet. Okay, I think they're here. Yes, good. Because if we lose 1 or 2 transports, no big deal. I really don't care. They're quickly to rebuild the landing craft. If I lose my Marine division, big deal. If I, because partially it just, if I lose my Marine division, not that I can't build another one, but that takes time. But it also, getting it way out here is part of what takes the time. Okay, well. You attack there. You come up there. You finish trying to get to occupy across that river. That's why you're going so slow. And you move across there instead of having him cross the river. I guess they had a port here trying to get supplies up and around. I'm going to let Pan have this part of the map here. Alright, there, well, a little bit of IC, probably just 2 with occupation. It won't be very much. Ooh, look at that. Look at all of those units. I'm not even sure who the red are. A lot of air up there. So Japan can keep moving and get that, and get a port over here. Carrier air group doctrine. I want to look at before I decide. Okay, we've got the 3 veterans of Army, Navy, and Air Force now. Good. For global military power instead of just a continental military power. Strategic bomber tactics. Oh, did I stop that? Probably I did. I should redo that or restart that up again. And because I do want to get at least global military power. And then aircraft carriers, which we're doing all of those, and carrier air group doctrine, which we're doing that right now. That's so we won't switch that over. So that's what we need to do. So I won't stop that. Let's get all that. Oh, that will be good. Well, if you're going back up to there, they're going to occupy that soon enough. Block any retreat. Oh, I think they've made it here. Somebody has. Okay, well, that's not so much who I was thinking of. These guys, yeah, they're heading out that way slowly. 11 miles per hour. How's supply doing out here now that I got rid of the ships? Still not so great. I do have... Yeah, okay. Well, get supply in there. I know you're not a major port. That hurts how much you can supply, but that's where we're... Both of the islands are at least building, if not have built. Yeah, building a second element to the port. Okay, oil refinery advanced. Great. Industry. Oil refinery. We're going to stop that. And then that, we're going to come down here and do the strategic air again. I stopped it just because I'm not using it. Where is it? Here. But I need to get that to then get military. Okay, these are really cool. The Seehund, German for seal, is also known as the type. What's that? 27 was a successful series of German midget submarines created during World War II, designed in 1944. Operated by 2-man crews, the submarines were used by the Kriegsmarine during the closing months of the war, sinking 9 merchant vessels and damaging additional 35 losses, mostly attributed to bad weather. Okay, well, successful as in they worked. Absolutely, they didn't you know, you put bad enough weather out and that little thing, you can easily mess it up because the sea can be very sort of violent. They worked, but they built I think it's hundreds of the things. I think, if I'm not mistaken, or is it even is like 3,000 of them or something? But at least like 300. Because I recently was looking this up, just looking up different midget submarines of the war. I do that kind of stuff, guys, for strange reasons. That has nothing to do with Hearts of Iron. Just looking stuff up because it piques my interest. They sunk very little shipping for the little hundreds of them that they put out there. I'm not doubting the 9 merchant vessels. That seems appropriate. But they were very limited range. The British, the X-craft as they're called, or the X-submarines or whatever, that did the attack on the Tirpitz, They were a 4-man submarine. Now, they also had a smaller submarine than this that was a 1-man submarine, the Germans did, but the British had the X-Craft. They were, like, I believe, a 4-man, and it was a larger affair that actually even had a another chamber inside of it, designed so that one guy could get in the other chamber, seal it up, and then flood that chamber, then open up the hatch to be able to go out in a, sort of in a full diving suit, not like a scuba suit, but a full diving suit, designed to, like, go be able to cut his way through. He had sort of a hydraulic cutters that he could use underwater, and cut through submarine nets, because they were specifically designed to get into a harbor, and one of their main targets, or the main target, was the Tirpitz, who was somewhere hiding in a Norwegian fjord somewhere at the time. And then they later moved a few of the X-Craft somewhere to the Pacific to try to, later in the war, to try to do something with Japan. I don't know if they were any successful or much success there. Now, those didn't have torpedoes because they were trying to get into a harbor and knew that if they torpedoed something, everybody would be looking for them and find them and kill them. The idea with the X-Craft was to get in there, and they had two sort of, well, you could do sort of, the limpet mines, the magnetic ones, and that's sort of also the diving suit, was to get out and attach them to ships in the harbor. But they had two on the sides of them there, two big sort of side containers that they release some mechanism, and they would just sort of fall to the ocean floor. And then at that point start, I'm just guessing here because I did watch the movie on them, an 8 or 12 hour time delay that then they would blow up, and so that you had to get, like, right underneath the vessel to take them out. And so you dropped them and then you worked your way out. They were better, and to get them up to places like this, they were designed to be towed behind a submarine, or a surface vessel, but a submarine, and even done so with whether the crew is in them or the crew is outside of them, and not like to go deep. It's just sort of this set of a little below the surface kind of thing, so that because they didn't have the fuel, they could only, limited air use underwater, but they didn't have the fuel to go very far, and so then to go in and do the thing and then come out. I'm guessing again, 100 miles, maybe 60 miles. I don't know. To be able to get in and out here, but not to get a couple hundred miles or whatever it is to get this far kind of thing. Get out. Be able to drop off from here and then work your way into here and then work your way back out to the meeting zone. That kind of thing. So the British use that very well. And part of the thing with the 4-man is there's just a lot of jobs to do for one of these submarines. You have to balance out the air ballast in submarines, because if you move men too many, or even around a start going down, so it's conning it in the sense of piloting or flying it almost underwater. How the dive planes go up and down, plus how the level of buoyancy, letting out air, plus balancing all that out. And other jobs. There's just a bunch of jobs, and after a while, fatigue can really set in. So if you get 2 men doing this, they're going to be doing this all the time. Well, the X-Craft, I think they did spend a couple of times that they were out like for 3 or 4 days, but they didn't necessarily travel very far, and just sort of sitting and waiting for the right moment to do some stuff. That in the X-Craft, there was at least one like bunk, so one of the 4 could get some sleep. The bunk that would fold down. These guys would have to constantly be working, and I really don't think you would even be able to have a break too much between operations. So they were sort of thought to be that they could, swarm out on a D-Day like invasion fleet, and because they had 2 torpedoes, you don't see them here. One would be mounting here, one would be mounting on the other side. Is to get all out there and create chaos and havoc by torpedoing a lot of shipping, but they just really didn't do that well. Weren't able to ever, I'm not disputing in any way the 9 vessels here and damaging additional 3. Yeah, they did damage some vessels, and yes, again that, but they never stopped any significant raid. They never even disrupted a significant, D-Day type approach. So that since they lost, but we'll lose the 5 manpower and the 250 or 2,500 supplies to launch them. Now, I think they come in. Oh, on tab, production tab. I think they're in here. Nope. Oh, they just got a whole OOB launch. Okay. I don't build them because I have tried and tried and tried to use them. They're very short range. Is it just this one here? I guess so. So we just got one here. So I don't know if we'll even we won't put a leader in that because I don't want to lose him. So but I've never been able to successfully sink anything with them. They just get slaughtered. They just don't have the range that I've ever been able to find to or the submarine killing ability to actually take down a convoy. Good, finally in Hyderabad. That was a long sort of fight there. And what technology do we just hit? Medium gun velocity. Okay. Medium gun velocity here. Good, we will stop that. Now, do have the strategic bombing. Good, again, we still have those others. Let's continue with improving our doctrines. Elastic defense. Okay, that'll be good. So I'm just sort of warning you about, be careful about spending too much ICs on building those, because I've yet to see them be useful. And you could say that's realistic, and yeah, but there's also other, okay, we have exchange or Bank for International Settlements, which we want to do. Yes, we will do this. There's different conditions between, say, now and what there was going on. Oop. They're going after Accession Island again. This time with just one. Okay, well. Attack. Well, we're going to do aggressive. But I want you to keep pounding so long as you can. Oh, they have the heavy cruiser with them. Smart of them this time. That's only one division. Wow, these Brazilians are being... Can we add in these guys? Without from keeping where they are? Yes. So we are going to double hit them. Okay. Let's see if we can take this out with just air power. But one of their transports survived the last time. I presume that's the current one here. They thought they could come back and do that again. But they were smart enough to escort it. Now that we have the Bank for International Settlements, we got more, considerably more research ability now. Plunk, defense and depth, and grand battle plan. And we have a 0.21 more hedgehog. Yeah, we'll do that. Not that these guys are gonna be taken out by one division. What I am a little worried about, especially that these Marines, because I don't want to lose my good Marines. Okay, it looks like we took out their cruiser. Is to get overrun by a big U.S. So just think, guys, what if the U.S. came in and showed up with its battle fleet here, you know, or just a decent one, and 6 divisions, they just swamped me. Now they are doing a little bit of that out in the Pacific, but single engine fighter prototypes have advanced. Good. And it's grayed out. And we're gonna let that. Oh well, we have a 10th or whatever. Well, we're gonna come down here and look for. Okay, those are all pretty good. These are now getting a little behind, some of them, that is. Well, let's do, yeah, attack. See, attack movement, that's a good increase to have. We've got to sink this vessel, not so much to defend this island, because I think we're gonna win this battle without any trouble. Yep, looks like we just took them out. Now, we're gonna stop you guys so that you start reorganizing. We're gonna stop you guys so you start reorganizing too. But I do eventually want to use you to just generally harass shipping out here. Now, are you here yet? Yes, okay. Okay. All of you guys, get in there. So now Albrecht, who is a reasonably good naval commander there, he's got just about basically all the ships repaired. Just a little damage there. Reasonable, just 3 destroyer squadrons, but a reasonable amount of escorts. Scharnhorst Gneisenau, the battleship Erlich von Houten, the Admiral Hipper heavy cruiser, of course the Graf Zeppelin, and 4 light cruisers as well. We're gonna put these guys on board here now, and we also have, I just want to see the shape of them. Those guys are naval striking, so which are right there, and which will help out. These guys are air intercepting. Let's just make sure they have the biggest. Well, they have that much range. These guys have in that much range. They're covering all of that. Now, last time it was happening right up in here. These guys up here, and I know they're fully covered, and these guys here, so we have, and they're fully covering this region, so with intercepting, so we are going to try once more to invade up to here. Invasion, just one kick-ass Marine infantry division with some SS commandos supporting it. We've got to get to port fairly soon. With the port, I think we can hold. Now I should be getting more troops over here to follow along. So mentioning that, we have, okay, no, they're not there. Look at those liners. You come up over here. You'll move fairly quickly at 20 knots. And they'll bring in some more light infantry units to help jungle fight, because we do have a lot of jungle in here. We can successfully get into the port. And what I will do if we do get, it does land us on either one of these sides, I'm going to fly in some heavy transports into Saigon and air supply. Well, this time it seems to be working. They haven't spotted us yet and come out after us. I just simply air supply in enough supply to keep them fighting. Fight their way into the port. Yep, just like that. So that's what we'll need to do. Okay, so let's come up here. Now I have two big units in Africa, but let's see. Transports, no orders. Where are you? You are here. Okay, that should be enough transports to supply me if there's supplies in Saigon enough. Let's see. The supply situation in Saigon looks good. So we will air supply our naval infantry who've been hanging out having a party in Singapore for a long time. Okay, jet engine research has advanced, which still hasn't done enough to allow us to really research any jets. Here, jet engine 1, which is here. Jet engine research at least 3, so we've got to do at least one more. We're at level 2. Okay, well, good. Let's not let them delay. I know they're just headquarters, but they could start sending other forces around. These guys look like they've made, well, obviously they've made that, and if we don't lose any major vessels, I'll be happy. They somehow take out a, like, our landing craft or something, I won't mind. Okay, amphibious unit command and control, which is just for these units that we're currently doing. We will let that go, because although we have a few of them, they are going to be important. Was recently asked if I have any plans for Australia and New Zealand. No, I don't. That doesn't mean I'm not going to go there. I don't have any plans yet. I hadn't really, well, I'd planned mostly just to, originally these guys come over to take Batavia, because that port was, Japan wasn't able to take it. And I could try to take it with my Marines, but they got supply through another way, and okay, well, we've won there, so that's good. Now let's keep it, make sure we keep supplies flowing. Well, they aren't even there yet. Almost. Okay, we're going to take this opportunity to end this episode. I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank you for liking the videos. I really do appreciate that. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for many more great Hearts of Iron videos, as well as other historical games. Thanks so much. Please also post questions, comments, suggestions, ideas, I do take them into account. Doesn't mean I'm smart enough to take the good advice, but I do like to hear it. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.